U.S.-China trade dispute. To help us understand the situation, we spoke with Jim Gilmore, former U.S. ambassador to the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe and former governor of Virginia. Trump saying after that the rare earth export issue has been resolved and that he and the First Lady will accept Xi's invitation to visit China. In your view, who blinked first? What does this mean for U.S.-China relations?
Well, I think that both may have blinked in order to try to reestablish this kind of trade relationship. But I've thought about this a lot during the day as I was preparing to come on your show tonight. You know, everything is being driven by the belligerence and aggression of China. If they would just simply behave like a normal country and try to build up their country instead of all the economic problems, instead of trying to be aggressive against the Philippines, the Japanese, Taiwan particularly, then we wouldn't have all these problems. But right now, how can they expect to be aggressive towards the United States and then have a normal relationship? Meanwhile, of course, the United States and China are very tied together in trade as of right now, but we will be decoupling on the issue of rare earths because we have to have an independent chain of resources for rare earths, and I think we're working hard to get that.
Now, we have seen over the years that Communist China does not play by the rules, as you just pointed out there. Given that, with the meeting or the call this morning, do you see that as a softening from the U.S. side?
Well, look, I'm a hawk. I think that's perfectly clear from the times that I've been on here. I think that you always have to watch out in dealing with these dictators, whether it's the Russians or the Chinese, to not look weak. I don't think that the president is looking weak, but if he has to go on bended knee to Beijing before the Chinese president comes to the United States, that might send a bad signal. But the president is consistent about trying to rebuild relationships instead of having a warlike situation. But it's really up to these dictators, and particularly to China. They're the ones that how can they take an aggressive position towards their neighbors who are American allies, and then expect America to do nothing in response? Any type of reaction we get is on them, not on us.
The Department of Homeland Security is sounding the alarm this week, announcing the seizure of over 100,000 pounds of chemicals used to make methamphetamine. Officials say it's enough to produce drugs that could kill millions. The shipment reportedly originated in China and was headed to the Sinaloa drug cartel in Mexico. Let's take a closer look.
The seizure taking place last Friday at the port of Long Beach in California, part of the Homeland Security investigation effort that seeks to stop drug shipments coming in from communist China, India, as well as some other countries. ICE officials saying the initiative helps the agency to stay ahead of the cartels. The CCP is the world's largest supplier of synthetic drug precursors. These chemicals are often shipped to Mexico for further polishing before making their ways into the United States.